Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with this week's episode review for Gavv, episode 37, I believe it is. Doing things a bit differently, as you can see. Somehow, contemplative Dawson picture returned. I wanted to experiment with sometimes doing this with just photos and voiceover because this week's review will be relatively short because I don't have a lot to say, but I did want to talk about it. As this week's episode seemed to honestly just be filler. Like, I was just thinking, what are we doing here? We're doing this main storyline about this family's, sweets restaurant. It felt like an episode more comfortable in the early 20 episodes, and I was like, we're kind of in the end game, not quite there, but 10 plus episodes away. It seemed weird. The only interesting stuff going on is kind of the fallout with all of the family stuff, Glotto getting reassigned and Longo possibly being dead for now as a result of Jeeb's revenge, and then Jeeb, going after Gavv. And that was really the only interesting thing going on. I wasn't hating it, but I couldn't help but think, what a momentum killer. And then we have this storyline here about this guy they interview that is involved with the family that was helped out by them. I think the dad in particular, and that he had kind of a bad past and they helped him out. And then it's revealed at the end that he's the guy that kidnapped Honto's mother because he saves this kid when he's about to be collateral damage of the fight between Gavv and his sister, or Gavv and his brother, excuse me. And he saves the kid by jumping on top of him, and it's revealed that he's a granite, and it's the one that kidnapped Honto's mother. And it's funny because I saw this picture that's probably up on screen right now as this confrontation was happening, but I didn't know the context, because when it comes to writer news, I only ever really seek out, the new forms and toys and shows. I don't, look at episode synopsises and spoilers and stuff like that. So I didn't see this coming, and I thought it was a great little twist, kind of setting us up in this very cliche filler episode, and then having a huge reveal. And I'm really excited to get to the fallout of this, mainly because also, obviously it's been something we've been building to for the whole series, but because of where Honto is, if Honto had seen this happen within the first 10, 15 episodes when he was first a writer, he definitely would have flown off the handle and I don't care, he kidnapped my mom, and gone after him irrationally. But the fact that he's developed so much, developed an understanding of granites, especially the last arc with Lakia, where he kind of just had that resolution of, just like humans, there's good and bad granite. So I'm really interested to see this, and I just wanted to talk about this episode because of that, because Gavv surprised me thinking it was going to be boring filler, and then it wound up being really interesting. I do hope, though, that from here on out we don't do too many more episodes where we're focusing on filler characters. I feel we've been doing kind of a lot of that in this last arc, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel like the right time for it. The only other thing I wanted to say was I really love what a badass Gavv is. He does not hesitate. He was going to take out his brother here, and I'm really fascinated by the dynamic they chose for the family, because as I said in previous reviews, any other series would 100% have them on a redemption arc, and the fact that they're basically just treated as straight up villains for the most part. Obviously you have some humanization when it comes to the twins bonding, which for whatever reason I keep thinking of them as an evil Toku version of Andy and Ollie from Bob's Burgers. But yeah, I'll be really curious to see where this ultimately ends, because usually by now you would have at least one member seeming to go on a redemption arc, and I'm pleasantly surprised, not only what a badass Gavv is, where he's not just that typical overly optimistic, unrealistic Toku protagonist, but the fact that they're actually committing to making human villains that would usually be redeemed villainous. So yeah, overall, kind of a mixed episode because it was boring in the first half, but then the end of it really picked up, so I'm hoping that we kind of pick up the pace for the series from here on out. But anyways, guys, let me know what you thought of the episode. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell to get notifications for my videos. Dawson Rider, signing out.